welcome to yet another episode of Ask Britt Shit, where I, Britt, answer your shit in my never-ending quest to get through my 5 pages now of questions that have been queuing up for a while. I'm gonna get through them. That is my promise to you. God, I wonder if I'll ever just be seamless with my transitions and with my words that I say. You know, I always just make shit awkward. That's what I do. I'm joined today by Gentleman Jack, as always, and he says hi. There I go again with awkwardness. I don't even know. First question comes from Josh Greska. I'm squinting because the computer screen is kind of far away and I'm trying to read. So, Brittany, which video game character is the hardest to see leave for you, or has been the hardest? For me, it's always been... that could be a spoiler, so I won't say what he said. So basically, what has been the hardest character to see leave? You know, this is a tricky one, because we all know that Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is the end of Nathan Drake's of his adventures, just because they're moving on with different characters, or at least I'm assuming they are. Same kind of with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, with the Blood and Wine DLC coming out later this month. We know that's going to be the end of Geralt's adventures. Not saying that they're dying or anything, but it's just, you know, the end of the adventures. So I'm still digesting finishing Uncharted 4, and it's really sad for me to know that I won't play another Uncharted game with Nathan Drake, just because that's what Naughty Dog has said. So the cast of Uncharted in general could either be the top contender or the cast of Mass Effect. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. It's really tricky. Obviously, with Mass Effect, you have Garrus and Shepard and Kate and all of those, Rex and just Grunt and all those characters that I've really learned to love over 3 games. And now with Uncharted cast, you know, you have 4 games, and so it's hard to pick one of them. So I'm just gonna have to say those 2 casts are the hardest to go, I think. Yeah. Oh, now I'm all bummed out, man. Now I'm all bummed out. Let's drink to bummed outness. What? On a side note, I'm so ready to move into my new house, you guys. It's 80 degrees in my room right now, and I'm hot. I may or may not be wearing pants, and I'm drinking whiskey. It's kind of a good combination, actually. I feel like I'm gonna get progressively shinier as this video goes on. It's okay, that's just the sweat pouring out of my pores. Pouring out of my pores. Is that why they're called pores? Because things pour out of them? Brit logic. The next question comes from Alan Boyd. And Alan wants to know, what is your take on nudity in games? Does it add to the cinematics and dialogue any? Could there be a purpose in it like swearing is in most games? Love to hear your thoughts. Now I know this is a hot button topic. I feel like it used to be more hot buttony in the past, and now it's not really an issue. I mean, it is, but it isn't. And I feel like typically for this sort of question, people would rehearse and think of a very PC, PR friendly response. But this is me. That's not really how I roll. So if I haven't answered this already on Ask Britt Shit, I will answer it now. And hopefully if I have answered it, I don't contradict myself. Then people's minds can change. It's all good. I have an excuse. Nudity in games. Honestly, it doesn't... I feel like there's a time and a place for it, and that all depends on the game that you're playing, right? If you're playing, let's say, a BioWare game, and you're having a romance scene with, you know, the person you've been romancing throughout the course of your 60-hour adventure, and you guys are getting it on, and you see a boob or a butt or something, of course that doesn't bother me. That's generally how people bang, is naked. I mean, you know, I don't need to open that can of worms. You know, or if now let's say you're playing something like a super serious video game that's really super serious, I don't even know, and then all of a sudden a random naked hot person walks down the street, then it's totally uncalled for. Okay, then that would be kind of weird. I don't know if that made any sense. Basically what I'm saying is every time I've seen nudity in video games, in my opinion, it's been appropriate. I've never been oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? In The Witcher, there's tons of boobs and ass and all sorts of beautiful naked people in it, in my opinion. And never once was I taken back. I guess also I should preface this with I'm not a shy person. meaning I don't like, or bashful, like I don't like see boobs and like shrink, or I don't see like peens or butts or whatever. It doesn't offend me. It's just fucking, we're all people and we all have these parts, so I don't understand what the big taboo thing is. But hey, I hope I answered that sort of coherently. Maybe, maybe not. The next question comes from Not My Name, YOLO. The question is, hey Nurse Britt, are you still hosting the We're Not Dead podcast? I know you're busy and all, but I always enjoy listening to your opinions and shit. Wow, this must be a very, very old question, and I'm really sorry, Not My Name, YOLO, that I haven't answered this yet. Okay, so for those of you who are shaking your head and being like, what the fuck, Nurse Britt? What is this dude talking about? No, I am not a certified nurse. So if you have heard of the We're Alive podcast, it's a zombie audio drama. I feel like that description completely like doesn't give it credit. It's a very well put together, polished audio drama, radio series, whatever you want to call it, produced, directed by one of my really good friends, and that's actually how we met. And so you know how like The Walking Dead has the Talking Dead? Well, I was the Talking Dead of We're Alive podcast called We're Not Dead podcast. Are you following me? I'm not even following myself. So anyway, I basically hosted the talk show about the podcast where we would discuss theories, characters, events that are occurring. We would take fan mail, discuss, debate certain points, who we think we should live, die, etc. And it was really fun. And my friend Greg, some of you know as Greg Miller, Game Over Greggy, kind of funny, the dude who eats a lot of hot wings and does the crazy eyebrow thing, he and I hosted it actually together for a while. We even did a live show, and then he had to leave, and then I ended up hosting We're Not Dead with a good friend of mine named Tony Ray. And no, that was a live show I hosted with Tony. Then I hosted it with another guy named Nick. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, now that you know the entire history of We're Not Dead is no, I don't do that anymore. Not because I lost interest in the show or anything. It was just a very big time commitment, and I couldn't fit it in my schedule anymore. But if you're into audio dramas and radio shows and all that awesome stuff, check out We're Alive. It's really, really good. And I'm not just saying that. It's just... Our next and final question of this video, because I'm sweating in places people shouldn't sweat, comes from Nathan. And Nathan's question is, favorite game and why? LOL. You know, it's funny, whenever I do interviews or stuff where people ask me questions, that is one of the top questions I get is, what's your favorite game? And I feel like that's an appropriate question. I feel like someone's favorite game tells a lot about them, and kind of, you know, you can judge them based off of that. But I quite literally have never sat down and thought about like what my favorite video game of all time ever is. Now granted, if you were to like get me really, really drunk, I don't even know. Ask me when I'm a little intoxicated, I'm in a bar or something, I would probably say like, oh, you know, Ocarina of Time, Ocarina, it's all the same. But that definitely is one of my favorite games ever. But I don't know if it's the game of my favorite game of all time, because I've never really like sat down and compared that with Final Fantasy IX or Breath of Fire or Resident Evil or Super Mario RPG or Earthbound. Like, you know, I have all of these top games, and I guess like maybe one of these days I'll just take like a few years of my life and sit down and try to like internally debate over what my favorite game of all time is. So I can't answer that question because I don't know, but I just named some of my favorites, and typically my favorites are RPGs with story involved, and there you go. Alrighty guys, that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see ya next time. Yes? Yes. God, I'm sweaty.